Today is Groundhog Day, yes. But most importantly, it's my birthday. Today, I unfortunately turned the age of 40 years old. When I was born in Schwäbisch Germany, they did not even give me a day to live. They told my mom and dad to say their goodbyes to their just born son. Too much oxygen was the cause of my disability. And I have been beating not only Father Time, but expectations ever since. To be 40 years old, it's kind of bananas. It's kind of crazy. And typically, I don't talk about my personal life on this channel because I don't want my personal life to be defined by my disability. And yes, I will be straight up about it. I am ashamed of my disability. I hate it. Every single day that I lie here in this bed or have to go into my wheelchairs, I am ashamed of it. There was only one time in my life where I really felt proud of being disabled. That was between the years of age 21 to age 25, a 4-year stint in which a radio show family led by a young man by the name of Tony Desiri took me in like family. Was the first person on my Facebook today to acknowledge my 40th birthday. We had a short back and forth. But I will never forget those days of calling up the radio show every day like clockwork. And one time having bronchitis and still calling the show. It was the best 4 years of my life. Going to radio remotes, hearing from other callers, even one caller by the name of Detroit David, sending me to my first sporting events, to Air Force football, to Air Force hockey even, to see my first WWE live event because I won tickets on that show, because I know nerdy wrestling trivia. I don't like my disability and I don't like talking about it because if I did talk about it, it would define everything you watch here. It would define my review style, my thought process. It would define what I like in games. It would define everything. You would look at every bit of the content through a disabled lens. And I don't want to be viewed that way. So I have spent the last 13 years not talking about it outside of 2 times. Because so much of being a disabled person is about being a disabled person. So many things are defined by it, because of it. And even me gaining a girlfriend mid last year, you would even look at that as defined by my disability. Oh, sure, I know. I'll get a lot of comments and tweets saying that, no, I won't define you by your disability, but I know better. I know the truth of that. Most people tend to sugarcoat their feelings about it or try to dodge words around it. No, I am a person. I do not want to be defined by the thing that makes me not like you, which is the inability to walk or the weirdness of my voice. I have always said, even from video one, it's not about what you see, it's about what you hear. That is a general rule that I have established since the very beginning. I want people to hear me. This channel isn't about getting famous. It isn't about getting subscribers. It isn't about being the next MatPat or even the next angry video game nerd. It's not about being the mysterious Mr. Ender. It's not about any of that. For me, it's about a personal diary. A diary of the things I like. The diary of the things that I am into. But it's also been, for me, a way to look back on my life. A reflection of my personality. The reflection of how it's changed. I used to be a guy obsessed with trying to be the next winner of the Jim Rome smack-off, yelling and telling sports jokes. Then I grew out of that, and I wanted to be the next angry video game reviewer, and realized I don't like them. Any of them. I find them despicable and disgusting. I wanted to be the next Tommy Oliver, Brony Curious, or the next Dr. Wolf. I still admire their work and their effort. I don't admire the way they've left the fandom. I still admire Joshua Scorcher, but the way I view his viewpoint on Gen 5 is not the same as I would. I admire the Angry Joes for getting their hustle, I just don't admire the way they do it. Yes, could it be the fact that I'm 40 years old doesn't mean I don't recognize game? I do recognize game. Trust me, get your hustle. Do it well. Be good at doing it. It's just not who I am. Being a brony is not just something I am, it's the lifestyle I adhere to. That's why you don't see me doing angry, vitriolic rants, and why, even when I do it, I don't curse or do anything too crazy for too long. And even as I said on Twitter, the Aelita Diary seemed to be inevitable. From the minute I created this channel as Code America on June 10th of, well, the magical year of 2013 to now, it always seemed like doing those videos were inevitable. As I turned 40 today, I realized that the person that you see on front of that camera, now 13 years in, is vastly different than the person that said hi on a Nokia pink cell phone. And yes, it was purposely pink because Aelita's cell phone is pink. I won't lie about that. I admire Mr. Boomstick XL and the Xbox Factor podcast. I would love to be a guest one day shooting the shit about the Green Machine. I would love that honor, but I can be combative. It's not the first time I've been on podcast, but be kind of different for me talking video games reflectively. I would love to be a big name, but I don't want the big pressure, the lack of creativity, or the lack of control over what content I make. That's why I've never subscriber hustled you. No one ever will. I find that practice ridiculous. I still want to go to WrestleMania. It's the #1 thing I want to do on my bucket list. Been to Vegas. 40 is just one of those numbers that gets you reflective. And for me, it is definitely reflective because if you believe those doctors, I wasn't supposed to be here. Now I've done close to 1,000 videos here. And I've done it all without mentioning my disability or the fact that I had one. I've had cerebral palsy since the day I was born. I've had a bad right hand. My muscles barely move because of 2 hip surgeries. One was a misjudge. I can barely sit in my wheelchair for more than an hour, if not tilted, or else I get bad inflation in my feet. I used to be a Special Olympics gold medalist. Used to be pretty agile. But now I'm age 40. And I love doing this thing. And I don't do it for money. I do it because I love to do it. I do it for me. I do it so that I can remain to have a chronicle here in the Aelita Diaries, although probably won't be considered my magnum opus on this channel, because it won't be. There will be so much more than just that. But if you ask me what videos that I will have the most pride in, it's these 94. It's the truth. It's the stuff I used to do with the Code Harmony podcast. It's all of it, really. But if I had to isolate it into one thing, these 94 episodes would definitely be it. And much more. Still haven't decided whether I want to do Evolution or not. And yes, if Code Lyoko were to ever come back in a rebooted form, whether the fandom likes it or not, I would cover every bit of it. There's a reason why Code is in the name first, not Equestria. Because Lyoko defined me way before anything Equestrian did. And you're damn right I'm going to talk about Gen 5. And I'm going to talk about it thoroughly. And I'm going to make my points known. You will get that in a separate video for sure. But yes, I am 40 years old. But I am 40 years old wiser. I'm 40-year-old smarter. It is because of the people that I have learned from and the people that influence me. Tony still does sports talk radio from Memphis, Tennessee. He is the person that has influenced the most of my work. The way that I do it. The fact that I consider every subscriber, every person that has ever tweeted me, every person that has ever said anything to me, whether positively or negatively in a comment, I consider them family. He taught me that. 40 years ago, a doctor told my family that I wasn't going to be a part of theirs. I proved them wrong. So I spend every aching moment on YouTube trying, at least in a small extent, to be part of your family. And I didn't need the disability as a crutch, and I won't use it. But no, as I roll on making these videos and roll on through life, 40 doesn't mean I'm nearing the end of my life. 40 just means I've made through a lot of lives, 3 of them in fact. I call myself Nirvana Sparkle because that's who I believe I am. Wasn't the name that I was given. Shoot, I was named after a singer or a train set or even a typewriter given my actual name. But now as I see the age of 40, I am indeed reflective. To be a man in my position with the over 900 videos that I have given you, to be at age 40, I am eternally blessed. To all the people all over social media that subscribe to me, I am eternally blessed. To anybody who has ever tweeted me, ever sent me an email, to every ex-girlfriend I've had, the 2 that I've had, and the 1 that I have now, I still love you all. No hard feelings. I've changed a bunch. To the 1 that I currently have, you know what my hopes are, I don't have to tell you. To my friends that helped build this channel, I would be nothing without you. And the content will keep going. It will keep going as long as I am breathing, because like Ric Flair, I will never retire from this place, because this place means too much to me. But on a day like today, when the winter will be 6 weeks shorter, thanks Punxsutawney, take a moment to reflect on your life. Take a moment to reflect on the people you've influenced in that life. Make it worth something. Let the sun shine in. Even though this place can be cynical and social media can be still, let the sun shine in. You will be happily surprised what happens when you decide to live your life through positivity. I am 40 years old and I have never felt more positive about living than I do now. Because I decided to let the sun shine in. Not only in my personal life, but in my work. And I hope you see through that. Through the work that I will continue to provide and the work that I have already done. I am not done shining. 40 is nothing but a number. But when you reach this number, take the time to reflect. Find peace in your own nirvana. It might be my birthday, but it doesn't mean I shouldn't give back. No, I just have. See you next week for the Aelita Diaries. Right on time as always.